I'm not sure, but as long as it's near a speaker here, we should be good, because they'll get whatever's... this speaker will be providing audio, so if this microphone is near that speaker, then the sound will get to Zoom. We don't need to put on the audio.
Just checking. Britt, can you confirm that the audio is coming through on Zoom? Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of Northampton and Florence. I'm Ginny Furinger, and I'm the worship associate this morning. We're grateful to be meeting here at Bombyx this summer to enable the ceiling restoration at USNF, which has been completed. Next week's service will also be here at Bombyx, followed by a return to our Great Hall at 220 Main Street on September 6th. Please see the USNF website for more details. If you are new or returning after a time away, we're glad to see you. To receive information about all that we do and to get on our mailing list, we direct you to our website where you can fill out an online welcome card. The greeters at the back of the sanctuary also have a QR code that you can scan to access the welcome card. And there is a link to an online version in the chat. Visitors should look for anyone with a pink name tag to answer any questions they might have. We're glad that you're joining us for summer services, which are often lay-led and less formal than during other parts of the year. Please see our website for complete information about summer services. Our regular calendar of worship services will begin on September 13th, led by our settled minister, the Reverend Melissa Carville-Zemer. We strive to be a congregation that welcomes people of all ages, races, religious beliefs, backgrounds, sexual orientations, gender identities, and abilities. We belong to the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, and we are guided and inspired by its values and principles. Our values and principles move us to remember that those of us in the Connecticut River Valley live on the unceded homeland of the Pecumtuck, Nonotuck, and Western Nipmuc peoples. We acknowledge our responsibility to confront the legacies of dispossession and systemic racism that are part of our collective history, and we affirm and celebrate the many legacies that inspire us. We have drawing materials and other activities at the Soul Play table at the entrance to the sanctuary. Also in the back, we have hearing assistive devices and large print orders of meeting. Restrooms are gender neutral and down the hall. Please see announcements in the order of meeting. And please join us for social hour in the Rainbow Room after the service. We're here to celebrate, to reflect, and to support one another. It is good to be together. And now let's enjoy the prelude.
That music did its work. For anybody who doesn't know what Seligkeit means, it means happiness. We are here to abet creation and to witness it, to notice each other's beautiful faces and complex natures, so that creation need not play to an empty house. Please rise and embody your spirit, and join me in reading the words for the chalice lighting. As Ginny lights the chalice, we'll remain standing for the first hymn. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. Let's find the words. First part is called On Gratitude. When I agree to do a sermon, some kind of insight clock starts ticking. I appreciate the heightened awareness and the push to reflect, accompanied by a dose of dread. Not unlike the dread I experienced as a student at the end of summer, then as a teacher, and now as a semester-bound college worker. This year, I've struggled even more than usual, suffered more than strictly necessary to find the thread, because it seems to matter so much how we live with each other. And because, like a lot of people, I'm freighted with the accumulated obligations of life. But mostly, I think, after 2 or 6 or 10 years of this national craziness, depending on how you count Trump time, it's getting to me. Living through a civilization-threatening moment has, for most of us, morphed into a chronic condition of the soul that we must manage. Alternatively, and this is the fun option, I had been unintentionally lowering my caffeine intake to sub-therapeutic levels for about 2 months without realizing it. I'll spare you the analysis, but it involves an adored Yemeni brew called Hirazi, sent to me from my family in Fresno, with far more flavor and, as has only just come to light, far, far less caffeine, a quarter. So all the pleasure, none of the cognition. Time to discuss this in the Rainbow Room, and I want no judgments about this from you. So this very Friday night, after a lot of fretting and not quite getting there, with a sermon still to write, no surprise to those who know me, at the edge of Upper Highland Lake at the DAR, our own Lynn Marie Wanamaker emerged from the water like a wise nymph. Just as I was getting ready to strap on my orange buoy and swim across to a lichened rock on the opposite shore, my touchstone. This publicly supported blue-green paradise is the place where I most reliably feel held by the universe, freed by the glide through natural water, arms catching the light or parting dark water, the alternating stretch side to side, weaving me back together, crossing the midline, soothing my brain, effervescence of breath, creating a trail of sparkle, water holding me up, joy propelling me on. I'm deeply grateful for its existence, this DAR, for the rangers who welcome and wave, for the clean bathrooms, for the goose poop raking lifeguards, and the curious ducks that sometimes paddle out to check on me when I'm first getting in. All of them are guardians of a majesty of water, trees, and ever-changing sky, the Gainsborough lushness of dark green at twilight, the sweet early morning clarity of water and sky, or at times the murky morning merger of dark water and sky, or a fiery early autumn light show at dusk. Each swim is different, teaching me little by little about sun, clouds, wind, and rain, and about serenity, about how close we are to paradise, and how much our happiness is rooted in our bodies. Unlike swimming in chlorinated tanks, baptism in a lake confers grace. It doesn't take 35 minutes to quiet your mind and leave to-do lists behind like it does in the pool. Somehow, in natural fresh water, your body knows that it's home. No matter how cranky I am on the way in, I emerge happy, transformed. Early and late in the season, when cold water makes entering the lake a braver proposition, this joy is magnified. Cold water swimming takes courage and produces elation. But now, in late August, paradise requires very little of me. And although taking a swim in a perfect lake on a beautiful August evening is not an act of desperation or resistance or a solution to the problems of our democracy and planet, I know we need this beauty and this grace, and I think it helps to be fully immersed in it. So, getting back to Friday, on Friday, 2 days ago, barely, the emergence of someone who knows my nature, a member of this congregation, emerging, issuing from the very water of enlightenment, felt providential. Show your heart, Lynn Marie said, because the head is not what we need most now. We talked about the deep warmth of our congregation in these times, about how remarkably clear we have become, about how our lay speakers and others have told the same story from week to week in various modulations, forming a consensus spontaneously and without a single committee meeting about what matters. That we are, literally and figuratively, scientifically and sacramentally, part of one connected whole, one interconnected web of being, a single garment of destiny. That love and loss are inextricably intertwined. Therefore, that we are collectively grieving and experiencing despair. The way a healthy organism feels the loss of wholeness, the earth a loss of respect and awe. Our many-colored coat is torn. We know that we come together to remind ourselves that we are not alone and that we need each other, not only to survive, but to act and move in a way worthy of the unlikely miracle of our birth, sparked by love and imagination to find our place in the family of things. After Lynn Marie left with the remarkable Alice Wanamaker and her friend Mac in tow, I slid into the water, assuming that this benediction would see me through. To be continued. Ginny is going to lead us in the responsive reading. Your responses, I really hope, are going to be in bold on the screen. If not, we can call it out. You want to do that? Oh, they're there. Okay, awesome. Okay. So you'll read the responses in bold. This is an affirmation from Walt Whitman, written on the brink of the American Civil War. And for my ears, see what you think, but there's a vigor and a directness and a wholeness that maybe because on the brink and not yet in it, but also because then not now, that I hear in his voice. Okay, let's not grab your stuff.
The sum of all known reverence I add up in you, whoever you are. Those who are there for you.
There for you.
It is
not you who are there for them.
All architecture is what you do to it when you look upon it. All music. All.
Are we, okay.
Oh, and need to
Okay,
advance.
I'm gonna line it out for you, and you can say it back.
Oh, no, that's okay. He just needs to change
Oh,
them.
you just need to change it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
All music is what
Emanates from you. The instruments. The sun and stars that float in the open air, the apple-shaped earth, and we upon it. Stretching of people, unspeakable joys and sorrows. The wonder everyone sees in everyone else they see, and the wonders that fill each minute of time forever. It is for you.
It is for you, whoever you are.
It is no
farther from you than your hearing and sight are from you.
It is hinted
by nearest,
commonest,
readiest, spreading.
We consider Bibles and religions divine. I do not say that they are not divine. I say they have all grown out of you and may grow out of you still.
It is not they who give the life.
It is you
It is you
who give the
who
life.
give the life.
Will you seek afar off? You surely come back at last in things best known to you, finding the best, or as good as the best.
happiness,
happiness, knowledge,
not in another
place,
but in this place, not for another
not for
hour,
another hour,
but this
but
hour.
this hour.
And now it's time for us to greet one another. Those of you who are physically present, please extend a welcome to those who are near you and take a moment to wave to those who are on Zoom this morning. Welcome to all of you who are on Zoom. I unfortunately don't have a screen in front of me, so I can't see you all, as sometimes happens. So I know you're there. It's great to see you. It's great to know you're there. Happy to have you this morning. It's a blessing to be together. Our generosity makes everything we do possible, and it helps us support organizations and movements in the greater community. Half of the proceeds of each week's offering support the Society's operating budget, and half are shared outside our walls. You may mail in a check, donate online, or put your contribution in one of the plates that the ushers will pass. The offering will now be given and gratefully received. So there's a little meditation choreography for us to discuss before this all happens. I'll be reading words for meditation, and then we'll pause for some shared silence. I have a bell to let you know when that will end. But it's lovely, and it's my experience that shared silence is really different from solo silence, and that it's something we make together. So the bell will ring. At that point, we're going to sing Return Again. Lori will sing it once together as Lori plays. Yeah. Lori doesn't need to play it for us before we sing it. We know it well enough. And then we'll stop to signal that we're going to play it as a round. Elaine is going to come up and help cue this part of the room, and I will cue this side, and we'll sing it through as a round. Okay. And if you screw up, it's fine.
No one will notice. Really. It's what we do here. And it matters. In our stillness, may our breath, breathing in and breathing out, may the beating of our hearts, joining the pulse of the universe, birth to death, source to sea, revive us and connect us, and remind us that we are not alone, that we belong to one another, each one precious and unrepeatable, held, rooted, and free. We'll hold silence together for a moment.
What you where are you born? Born. Yeah. A reading, if you haven't noticed, this is kind of a greatest hits.
Sunday, is a poem by Mary Oliver, who I think is receiving, well, do I write this? I may have taken that out, but because an American Masters portrait of her called Saved by Beauty, that was at Amherst Cinema and I didn't get there, or that might be in the sermon. It's going to be aired starting Tuesday on PBS. Let's figure, did I say? I don't know if I did. The fact that she is available, I think, is no fault. In fact, a gift to us. So this is Morning Poem by Mary Oliver. Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches. And the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray. Get another chance on that one for the closing words.
Oh.
So, part 2, more spiraling.
Lie down.
Spiraling, the current shorthand for sinking into despair, is probably not the kind of thing you wanted to hear about this morning. Perhaps you were hoping for Fibonacci numbers or Molly Hale's wonderful insights about chimney swifts, those videos making the rounds recently as we learned about the dark swirls of these remarkable creatures and their adoption of unlined chimneys as an alternative to the hollow trunks of their native habitat, old-growth trees. And what I crossed out here, but I'll include, and the fact that they collectively care for their young. Smart. The spirals that occur in nature almost certainly conform to a deep aesthetic in our minds and hearts, one that I had underestimated when I worried about needing something new to say, knowing in my bones that returning again and again to beloved territory is a deeper kind of knowing. A spiral is a resilient, springy, recursive structure, implying a kind of verticality, but really set up to expand, then bring us back again and again to the beginning, something our hearts and heads need. In an aside, for the sake of time, as I tell about my summer search for truth, but you'll see this may not be true, for truth, meaning, and some words, I'm leaving out a bobcat, my late father, many, many of you in this congregation, that's true, my husband Chris, and my swimming buddy. But we'll pause here to say that Jenny Furringer is a gentle midwife for the soul, a steadfast support, deeply caring, and possessed of superhuman patience, which I am sorry has been necessary. Thank you. Earlier in the summer, so we're starting a little bit of a chronological dance here, going backwards. Long before my chat with Lynn Marie, I had run into Madeline, a like-minded library colleague from UMass, at a Five College meeting in early June, one of several messengers who had worthwhile things to convey to me this summer. I had taken Madeline's online course, Sustainability in Libraries, about 10 years ago, and admired her human-centered work on the topic. Her contention then, and one that startled my facilities colleagues during a renovation, who are more comfortable with hardscape, that the next, what a long sentence, and I'm not John Updike. Okay, so they were startled at the idea that the next step of sustainability in a library, assuming a properly constructed, energy-efficient building, was what happened in it after it was built. What was learned there, how that work affected the lives of the people, how they felt in it, how this helped them connect with each other, and what the work in this edifice contributed to our understanding of how to live resiliently. In other words, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, and see what the people are up to. I was struck when I saw her again after an absence by Madeline's calm demeanor, attentiveness, and serenity, something I haven't been feeling myself as deeply. Hearing that I was chewing on a topic for a religious service later this summer, she did what librarians do, consulted her spiritual Rolodex, and gave me the information, and then confirmed it with the email I'll read below. Wonderful that you're revisiting Joanna Macy's body of work, the work that reconnects. Not true. It wasn't revisiting, but Madeline is gracious. She invites us to notice when we are in despair for the world, then tap into this dandelion-shaped spiral. First step, ground yourself in gratitude. 2, acknowledge and honor your pain for the world. 3, see with new eyes. And this is a calibration of seeing a larger picture and your place in it. And also in this work, something about stopping business as usual. And 4th, going forth. Picture the dandelion seed going poof into the world. In our conversation that day, Madeline had expanded on this. Joanna Macy's insights grounded my friend Madeline as an activist and fostered a deep sense of gratitude for her ancestors, for the ground of her being, for the great chain of being that led to her life now, and that created a large time sense for gauging her efforts, making her feel less responsible for the whole cosmos, more freed to do her part. I know that many members of this congregation are, unlike me, familiar with Joanna Macy's deep and wise work on the environment, spanning decades, deeply grounded spiritually, both in her root Christian tradition and her acquired Tibetan Buddhist training, alongside academic work on systems theory. She died last year at age 96, still engaged with work that is a process and workshop-based, but not really suitable for a sermon. It's relational and experiential. You do not want me to form dyads and ask you to report out. This was the equivalent, my encounter with Joanna Macy was meeting someone at camp and falling in love, and then going home, but still wanting to talk about the friend to the people at home. Nevertheless, doesn't work, okay. Nevertheless, and feeling a little trapped for time, I spiraled far down a last-minute Macy rabbit hole, assembled books and articles, stacked them up, sampled them, and trawled them for pithy paragraphs to capture her insights and share with you. Reading her Rilke translations, when I discovered that, in addition to being a non-dogmatic, zesty, practical, life-affirming lover of life, She had also translated my favorite poet. Pure hubris to think of bringing this here in any comprehensive way. This woman lived for 96 years and seems not to have wasted a single moment. Because I did really dip into her memoir. And I did look at a lot of tables of contents and headings and paragraphs, because I was pretty desperate. So, knowing that this is something to do and experience, not to know about, knowing that you needed to be at the campfire, and that maybe we will do something about her work here, I decided that I needed to put the bobcat back in the service, and the other stories and friends who accompanied me this summer as I spiraled and flailed in the hope that it may speak to you. In May, we had just buried, these are moments, okay, this is a mosaic. We had just buried our sweet ancient cat, Kizzy, in the backyard, and were consoling ourselves in the kitchen with tea, when a magnificent bobcat, never seen before in our yard, stalked through the yard, pausing to gaze at us impassively, sizing us up. Stunned into awe, I said, "Visitation." My husband, Chris, said, "Honor guard." In our minds, Kizzy had been collected by her wild king, transported, reborn again. Then, more numinous than usual this summer, in a rare dream, my father came to me. He appeared wearing his clerical robes, not his favorite attire actually, near the bus stop by Pulaski Park. In a dream, leading a faceless woman across an apocalyptic grayscape of dented cars and piles of twisted bicycle carcasses. He handed her off to me to be conveyed further to the Unitarian Society. "She'll be fine there," he said. Moved to see my father again, so real, I leaned over to kiss his cheek, and he vanished. This felt like a blessing. Was I that woman he was carrying? Will we be fine here? What was being conveyed? And what's with all the broken transportation? And how I miss him. So in the pews, right here at Bombyx, our Airbnb for the soul this summer, replete with the Rainbow Room, we're an arkful of worthy shipmates, eager to help someone with a writing block and maybe a spiritual struggle. Beth Ann, are you here this morning? Oh, dang. Whose epic listening, because I never called her, feels like the cool water we both like to swim in, named my writing style, mosaic. Harder, she said, than linear thinkers, but you'll get there. You know me, I thought, but there is actually no guarantee that I won't be stranded somewhere out in the cosmos. Next to us, sitting in a pew, Kathy, who listened in and simply reminded me, it's summer. Translation. Everything you said was unintelligible. Bring flowers. I'm going to try this one, Chris. And many nights, traveling up to the DAR after work, I had the company of my dear husband, Chris, a non-swimmer, supporting a practice he does not partake in, reading history, and awaiting me on the Shirley Tufts Lane bench. So many benches there, go see them all. They're all like, so many people have died, so many people must have been happy there. So many places to sit. But Chris's bench is the Shirley Tufts Lane bench. And he reads and maybe takes a walk, but is my guardian. Then walks to the water's edge, expected, not emergent and unexpected, bringing me a towel and my glasses, receiving goggles and a cap in return, a choreography of care, a big grown-up altar boy helping me enact this ritual. And I have to say, having been seen by my swim buddy you'll hear about later, training him to, when we go swimming without Chris, also bring a towel to the water's edge. And also maybe do a little Jeeves camp while doing it. And then, also DAR related, one late afternoon, a couple of religious questions were posed by my swimming friend on the way back from the DAR, and they struck me. I know that for him, swimming is also a spiritual practice, and in a way more explicit way than it is for me. He was raised Catholic. God is in that lake. And that's just a name. I think this is true. And he's been returning to church at an adjacent tradition. So the liturgy is familiar at St. John's, Episcopalian. So, he said, I'm not hearing much about Mary there. And what's with no confession? Outlining the Protestant Reformation and the stripped-down one-on-one with God expected of its followers felt like a cold wind. No intermediation with the divine, so you're pretty much, friend, in a DIY situation with respect to your soul. Additionally, the feminine divine, and don't worry, I haven't forgot cakes for the Queen of Heaven, and the comfort of Mother Mary, yeah, sorry. Being a little silly here, but you know, these are things, right? What is it, I wondered, about our tradition that makes it okay to feel the numinous gaze of a bobcat as a visitation, but can sometimes make religion feel more like work than love, more like a chlorinated swim than living water? But, wait, this may be the one thing that's better about living in a foxhole, as we have been for some time together. It has changed us for the better. We are transformed, or I'd say concentrated. It's the real us, but in an amped up form. We need transformation. We need comfort. We now actually believe and know that we are one in being with the world that has formed us, somehow bred life out of rocks and stars and dust and explosions, and bred consciousness and pain. So should we expect our religious tradition to comfort us, to make us feel better, to help put us back together? And the line I missed was important, so I'm going to read it to you. Because my friend said on page 8 that, too bad, I always loved confession. It made me feel better. So let's go back to this. So can we expect our religious tradition to make us feel better and to help put us back together? Can we feel nurtured? Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Avalokiteshvara, Mom, Dad, everybody. Parent. Do we have to be so alone with it all? And does getting rid of hell mean that we're automatically happy? I think not. In a tradition of seekers and questioners, could there please be a resting place we can share? This all feels like a lot of pressure for one person. And I believe you collectively, we together, have answered these questions, friends. We are not alone, and we know it. Yes, we can and do help each other. And while too plain, very plain, too intellectual, pretty constantly critical and wordy, I believe we know that abundance is our birthright, and that we honor our lives by merging with the stream, experiencing joy, rooting into the presence not only of non-hell, but of our shared abundance, our lived experience, our physical bodies, our beloved faces, the hurting world that birthed us and needs us. Amen. So, let's sing in body, standing in body or spirit, Rising Green together. Looking for Mary Oliver. Thank you for making this service together. This song, singing with you, feels so great. And somewhere on page 97. Okay. Might as well read the whole thing. Morning poem, it's still morning. Every morning a world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches, and the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, You will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still, somewhere deep within you, a beast, shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray.